Greetings technicians, it is Admin Crow here, your coach of the Toronto Star Raptors, bringing you Season 1 Week 2 battle versus Serena Serperiors, coached by one of my good friend Javier. So me and Javier have a really long history when it comes down to competitive Pokemon. We first met a couple years ago in a technician Facebook group. So going into this match, I'm really trying to have fun against one of my good pals, so I brought some really heat sets. I explain all the sets that I brought and my game plan going in, and I break down my opponent's roster in the team builder that I uploaded last week. The reason that I didn't upload this battle up in time is because I got a new mic. I really want to wait until my mic arrives before I do this recording. So I'm really excited about my mic and the team that I brought. Let's just hop into the battle, see what exactly went down, and whether if my heat sets put in the finance of work or not. So just from the team preview alone, we can see that he did bring the Mega Medicham and Infernape, which are two of the biggest threats against my team, like I mentioned in the team builder. He also brought his electric type Galvantula to take advantage of my Coco's electric terrain and for potential webs. I was actually super surprised about the Melodic bring, just because it doesn't really have a good matchup against my team, especially my Tapu Koko, and it is pretty much a setup fodder or gives me offensive momentum every time it comes in. So let's just jump into the match to see what exactly went down. On turn 1 here, I do this lead with my Smeargle because it is designed to take on his potential lead of Infernape or his Mega Medicham, just to get off early Mega with a turn 1 fake out. As you can see, I do go for the spiky shield right here, half expecting a fake out, and I don't want to lose my Sash yet as he goes for his rocks. On the following turn, I do go for a glare to nullify his ability to sweep me, or just to remove it as offensive threat against my team as a whole, as he goes for the bulk up of his own. So on the following turn here, I am gonna be faster, so I went for the taunt, half expecting another bulk up as he goes for the blaze kick, bringing me down to my stash. On the following turn here, I do go for another spiky shield, try to get off some chip damage as he's hard switch out into his Galvantula to get up webs, and I get up my rocks on the following turn. So not wanting to I guess lose my Smeargle right there, I do go into my Silvally Ghost, my UBW, half expecting a Bug Buzz, which I take decently well. As you can see over here, it only did 16%. On the following turn, he does follow it up with a Thunder that actually did a great chunk of 39%, as you can see right here. So I'm at a point where I can only take one Zen Headbutt from the Mega Medicham, which is what I designed, or I guess what I brought this thing for. So I don't actually want to lose it. So as soon as I go for the defog right here to get rid of the hazards and webs for my offensive threats, KB and Coco and Mega Sharpedo, I do switch out into my Smeargle trying to sack it. However though, he missed his Thunder. So over here, I think my thought process was that I know my Kyurem Black takes a Thunder for sure because it has max HP, and at the same time it gives me offensive momentum. Like I mentioned in my team builder, he doesn't really have a Dragon type switching. I actually saved my Smeargle once again by going into my KB, knowing that I can take a Thunder. However, he does go for an Energy Ball right here, knowing that I guess he just doesn't want to miss another Thunder, I guess. Try to get the guaranteed kill on my Smeargle. That literally did 9 to my KB. Over here, I can just safely go for a Dragon Claw, knowing that he doesn't really have a switch in. He did go into his Melodic. We can see that it is fully defensive with Rocky Helmet, as I pull an offensive double into my Tapu Koko, knowing that there's not really too much that the Melodic can do back to me. So over here, I pretty much have the offensive momentum. I am free just to go for any electric type move of my own, I do go for the spec full switch as he goes into his Zapdos to take it. He actually took it decently well as I go into my tier 1 black on the following turn with the full switch. He does go for the toxic right here. This damage actually is pretty crucial later on. The fact that he did go for a toxic instead of a, I guess, offensive move at this point for, I guess, potential heat wave or I don't know, a hidden power ice or something. Over here, I do go for the devastating jig just to get my KO on the Zapdos. So he does bring in his Nihilego right here on the free switching. So over here you can see that I am sitting at around 68%, right? So the reason that I say the toxic damage is crucial is actually in my favor, not in his favor. Simply because on the following turn, as you can see, he actually went for the hidden power. It wasn't a prediction actually. I talked to him a little bit after the match, or actually I think he mentioned it in the chat, but it was actually a misclick. However, I don't think it really mattered, simply because the fact that he did go for the toxic with his Zapdos, which left me at 68% before I took the hidden power. So I actually have a 7 out of 8 chance to live a timid power gem anyway. So it was basically heavily in my favor for me to live the power gem. But he does lose his Nihilego right here as I lock myself into outrage. It would have been a double down that turn anyways if he so decide to go for the power gem. But unfortunately, because he misclicked, I do get to keep my tier 1 black right here, and I get off another outrage on the incoming melodic. I do get confused right here as he goes for another recover. Over here is actually pretty crucial as well. Had he gone for any offensive move, even Scald, he would have been able to knock me out. But he didn't. He decided to play the stall game with his Rocky helmet and just to get up a more comfortable amount of health with recover. I do live on 2%. I actually saved my tier 1 black just for differential purposes, and maybe he can come in on a later time to get off another huge hit with outrage. I do go into my Tapu Koko to scare out the melodic. I believe it was on the same turn as recover actually. So over here I actually went for the T-Bolt, knowing that there is nothing left on his roster or his team that can really handle electric terrain boosted and choice spec Thunderbolt, even the Galvantula, which he does go into right here. As you can see, it literally did 88% with it being a resisted hit. So I was like, okay, at this point I pretty much can just click T-Bolt and win the game, right? Because one T-Bolt kills the Infernape, and Galvantula is not living 2 of these, and Mega Medicham should get O-Code, same with the Melodic. So I just stayed and clicked the T-Bolt, even though I was expecting a Sticky Web since I'm not switching out anyways. So it actually went down quite interestingly right here. As you can see, he does go for the fake out. He was actually packing the fake out, he just didn't go for it turn 1, which is actually interesting against my Smeargle. I guess he reveals the fake out to burn 1 turn of electric terrain. I actually wasn't paying too much attention to my terrain because I thought I had the game at this point. I just go for another T-Bolt. As I expected, it does knock out the Infernape in 1 hit. So my terrain disappeared, right? I actually didn't notice. So instead of switching out my Coco basically to something else to take the fake out and reset my terrain, I actually decided to stay in, thinking that I can knock out this Mega Medicham in 1 hit. As you can see, the fake out did 29%. That's actually a huge chunk considering I do have HP investment. As he followed up with a bullet punch. Right now I still didn't realize that my terrain is gone, so I actually don't knock this out with a T-Bolt. Until this point I was like, how come that T-Bolt did a lot less than I thought? Then I realized I don't have my terrain anymore. This is actually a big misplay in my part because At this point, I don't really have a switch into Mega Medicham, especially with webs up. I pretty much have to sack a whole bunch of things just so that I can kill this Mega Medicham, because I didn't bring priority on my team, so he not only out prioritized me with his bullet punches or high jump kicks because of the webs. I also don't have anything to check him with. So over here I decide to sack off Smeargle for the third time, and yes, it does goes down right here. So I do go into my Cell Valley right here, I believe, my UBW. I shouldn't have let it taken this much damage early game from the Galvantula. That was my mistake. I could have lost the game, I think, if he stays in right here and go for the roll with Zen Headbutt. Now to think back, he probably doesn't even have Zen Headbutt to knock me out. His stat right here is Fake Out and Bullet Punch, as we saw before, right? So he probably have Fighting Stab and Electric Stab, almost said Thunder Stab. But basically Thunder Punch for my Celesteela, that's what I was expecting. So I guess it didn't matter in the long run. He does switch out expecting a Ghost move as I managed to get rid of my Defog. This is really cool. He switched into his Melodic to get a competitive, which on the following turn he does outspeed me and managed to knock me out with the Scald, which I don't think he could have done it otherwise without a competitive boost. But over here the game is pretty much sealed as I do go into my Coco and knock out the Melodic with a Choice Spec T-Bolt, and then I sack my Coco to go into my P2. Yes, I just have to do it to him, right? I could have given a kill to any other of my member, especially my Shark, to secure its MVP position right now, because I think at the end of week 1 he was actually top of the leaderboard. But instead, I really want to show off my P2 sets, right? So over here, I go into my P2, trace that huge power, and on the following turn, I outspeed and go for that double edge. Pick up the KO on pure attack, the Mega Medicham. So yeah, overall it's a really fun battle, and I get to show off my P2 sets in the end. I didn't really get an opportunity to bring it in mid battle simply because he have the web set up in I guess most of the battle, especially that later half where I was in with my Tapu Koko. Even if I go into my P2 on a free switch, I won't be able to outspeed his Mega Medicham even with a Scarf, since I will get a speed drop from the webs, right? So yeah, that's the battle. I'm really glad I get to show off the P2 set in the end. I had a lot of fun against one of my good friends in this battle. I had a lot of fun prepping. So that's gonna be the battle for this week. I'm gonna see you guys, wait, maybe not next week because I do get a bye this week. So I'm not playing again for, I guess, not this week, but the week until the week after. However though, I am starting another league. It's called the PCL, Pokemon Champions League. I think I'm gonna be doing uploads for that one as well. So make sure you guys check it out if you are interested in this type of league format battles. So that is gonna be it from me. I believe I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, technicians.